Hello and welcome to my channel. I am your host, Tambucha, and this is TambuchaLinux. Now, last week I repartitioned my hard drive and did a fresh install of the Garuda Dragonized KDE edition, and I gotta say it looks pretty nice out of the box. The only things I really changed here were the icon themes, and I altered the icons inside of the dock. So the team did a great job with this version. It looks fantastic, and I put almost zero work into it getting this way. However, I'm kind of a tinkerer and a nerd, and one of the joys I get out of using Linux is to be able to customize the look and feel of my desktop. So my goal was to try and create a very similar experience using XFCE instead. The reason I chose XFCE is first because I find it pretty easy to customize, and also for me, it strikes a really good balance between features and memory usage. Now, I'm not saying that KDE is a memory hog, but definitely XFCE is lighter. And in my opinion, I would argue that XFCE is the most popular lightweight desktop environment for Linux out there. So before we get started, we need to install a few apps. So in the terminal, you would type this command right here. And basically what you're installing is XFCE, the Whisker menu, the Arc GTK theme, Plank, which is a dock, and a volume icon. Now I already did this, but I'll do it again just to demonstrate. So I'll just hit enter for all and yes to continue with the installation and enter. Wait a few seconds and that's it, you're done. So once you log out, in the login screen here, there should be a drop-down menu, and you should have the option to choose XFCE session. You choose that and you log back in. TambuchaLinux. Okay, when you start off, you're greeted with this default theme here, and although it looks okay, the workflow is similar. You got the bar up here and a dock down here, but we can make it look better. So the first thing I want to do is I want to get rid of these icons here. To do that, you right click, hit desktop settings, go to icons, and you uncheck the boxes here. Done. Now while we're at it, we might as well change the background. Hit the backgrounds tab, go here, file system, no, that's not it, other. So it's in user, share, wallpapers. So I'm going to scroll down, look for wallpapers, click this subfolder here, open, and let's go with this. There we go. It looks much better already. Okay, so the next thing I want to do is I want to get rid of this dock here. To do that, you right click on the panel, panel preferences, you go to panel number 2, and you click the remove button right here. Done. I'm going to leave that there for a second. And I want to replace that with plank. So, where is it here? Multimedia, accessories, right here, plank. I'm going to click on that. And there we go, we got the plank dock. Now when you first run plank, it won't look exactly like this. I added some icons, but it's very easy to set up. All you need to do is, for example, I don't want this icon here, for example. I'll just have to hold it, drag it out, and it disappears. And for example, say I want something else. All I have to do is go to the menu, look for something I want. Just for example, we'll choose LibreOffice Math. I'm going to drag it right into there. There we go. Actually, I don't want that. That was just an example, so I'm going to get rid of that. And there's also a preferences menu where you hold the control on the bar and you right click. And you'll have the preferences option right there, where you can change, you know, the behavior, the appearance, and you got some docklets right here. Now I'm just going to leave it as it is. That was just for your information. We're going to close that out. Okay, so now that we got the dock here, the next thing I would like to do is I want to add the Whisker menu. So once again, I'm going to close this and I'll start from the beginning. We right click, properties. Oh, sorry, my mistake. Right click, panel, preferences. We're going to go to items and we're going to go to add. And here we can search for the Whisker menu, WH. There it is. I'm going to add. And when you add it, it starts at the end of the layout. So what you want to do is you have two options. You can either go here and bring it up, or you can right click it, choose move, and just move it to where you want it. Okay, so that's good. And also here's the difference. This is the regular menu and this is the Whisker menu right there. I think that looks much better. And I don't know why they don't add the Whisker menu as the default, but hey, whatever. So now that we added the Whisker menu, we don't need this one. So I'm gonna right click, I'm gonna remove. I'm also gonna remove this because I'm on a desktop right now, so I don't need a battery indicator. Remove. And this is a logout option here. I think it's kind of redundant because you have one down here, right? So for me, I don't use this one, so I'm gonna remove this also. Okay. Now, what else do I want to do? Let's change this clock. We're gonna right click, we're gonna hit properties. And all I want here is the time only. We hit time only and I want to change the font. Let's see what I want. Extra bold. And I want to change the size to, we'll choose 15. Select. There you go. The clock. That's much better. I'm going to close that. Let's see. We'll go back to display here on panel preferences. So here you got the option for horizontal, vertical, taskbar. I choose horizontal. And from here, what else do I want to do? I want to unlock this for a moment. When you unlock this, you can grab here with your mouse and move it to another location. And I want to resize this. Let's see. Let's see. I think that's about good. And then I'm going to drag this again and try to center it. There. So once I'm happy with where it's at, I want to relock the panel back so it doesn't move anywhere. There we go. Now you have the option here. I always choose to hide it intelligently. And what that does is, for example, I'll open a file manager and I'll maximize it. This should disappear. It should be hidden intelligently. I'm not sure why it's not working right now, but maybe it has to, you might have to restart it for it to work. But okay, we're just going to leave that option there for now. And I always change the pixel size here. For me, I like 36. There we go. And what else do I want here? That's pretty good here. So we're going to go to appearance. And here you have the option for light or dark mode. There's the light mode. I prefer dark mode, so I'm going to change it back. Here, we're going to skip this for a while. Here, I want to change my icon size to 32. So when you look at the icons up here, once I hit enter, you notice it gets bigger. That's good. Here we got the opacity. So when I enter, let's see, when I leave, that's when I'm not highlighting it. I want it to be a little more transparent. So I'm going to choose 75. Okay, and when I enter it, I just want it to be a little transparent. So we'll choose 90. We're gonna hit close. I think that's good for now. Okay, I'm gonna close this too. What else? Okay. Here is the default icon. I don't really like this icon, so I'm going to right click, hit properties. We're going to go to appearance. I'm going to click here, the icon. And I already have an icon on my computer that I can choose from. So I'm just going to go to that. Image files, home. I believe I put it in pictures. Here it is. I want to choose that icon. Hit OK. And you see the icon has changed. Now from here, you see the title says applications, but it's not showing up there. If you want your title to show, all you have to do is you can choose title without the icon, or icon and title. And from here you can change it to whatever you want. For example, menu. Me, however, I use this as a spacer. So I just put a space here. You see the subtle difference? There's a little space between this and this when I hit it. There, I'm going to put 2 spaces. Technically you can put a separator here, but I like to do it this way. So, okay, that's good for the icon. Now you see here there's some other options. That's for this here. So, I want, for example, I don't want this round picture here. So we're going to put it as hidden. You go here, there's no more round picture. I also want this option on, which will make these commands next to the search entry. So I'm going to check that. And you see here, the search entry got smaller and then these got put beside that. Now we want, what else? Put categories next to the panel button. We'll try that. So that just reversed these two. And actually I like that. So I'm going to keep that the way it is. And for here, put search next to the entry panel. So we'll try that. and it just moved the search up top along with this, but I actually prefer at the bottom, so I'm gonna uncheck that and leave it as it is. And also guys, while you're here, you can also resize this to the way you want. All right, I'm gonna choose it, I'm gonna put it like this. Okay, so I'm happy with this part of the menu. We're gonna go to behavior. So the default category, I'm gonna pick recently used. I'm gonna choose switch categories by hovering. So right now, when I hover, it doesn't switch to it. So I'm gonna turn that on. I hover over them and you see it changes. Okay, next. I don't want that. I think that's good. I think that's good. Let's see, commands. Commands. This is the commands for these things over here, guys. So, for example, when I click this, it's got its own logout, whatever, dialog or GUI, and that's the control. The command for that is this. If you have your own custom one, you can put it there, as along with other commands for locking the screen, etc. So I'm going to leave that the way it is. I'm happy with that. Search actions. No, I don't need anything here. So that's good. I'm happy with the way this is, the way it is so far. Just gonna double check, see if I missed anything. Oh, yes, opacity here. So watch when I change the opacity here, guys. Let's choose 75. So when I go on the menu, you can see it's a little more transparent here. And I kind of like that look, so I'm going to keep that. And we're going to close that. Now from here, you see the three little lines here. Those are for your launcher. For example, I'm going to click my file manager once again, but I'm going to minimize that. Okay, so your launcher's here. So, or your launch items, I should say. So when you right click properties, you can change the properties of this here. So for example, if I didn't want the tooltips here, you see that? I would uncheck this, but I actually do want it, so I'm going to leave it. The handle, this is the handle, so if I uncheck that, that won't show the handle anymore. I kind of like the handle, so I'm going to leave it. And for this, show button labels, so I'm going to uncheck this, and there's no more labels. I kind of like that. I just prefer to hover over it and just see what it is. I don't need the labels. This is just a very subtle aesthetic difference. You can maybe see it. I don't know. It's very hard to see, but it changes the look of this a little bit. I'm just going to leave it as is. For the behavior, I always choose close window. So that means when I click my middle mouse onto something here, it should close it. So I'm going to try it right now. There you go. It closed it. This one I'm not going to bother changing. I'm good with that right there. I'm going to close that. Now, right here, you got your workspaces. You got 4 right here. 4 different desktops. So you can alter that too by right clicking. For workspace settings, you can change the amount. So for example, say I just wanted 2. I could go like that. Margins, I'm not going to mess with that. And close that and right click again, hit properties. So here in the properties, you can change the look. For example, say I wanted two rows. There, it makes it, you see it looks smaller there. Buttons, there. it changes into buttons. And let's say I wanted 1 row. Right? So I don't really like that look. I'm going to change it back to the way it was. Miniature view. There you go. Okay, so I'm happy with that. I'm going to hit close. Now, one more thing. We installed volume icon earlier, if you remembered, so I'm going to search for that. And then once you click here, you got the volume icon here. And let's see, properties. Nope, that's not it. No. Preferences. Okay. So here, I'm just gonna check these. I want my default mixer. I believe Garuda has pulse audio. I'm not sure. Pulse. No, it doesn't. Okay, I always choose pulse audio, so I'm gonna have to install that. Let's see. Sudo pacman -s pulse audio. Yes. Oh. Yeah, might as well. Okay, something's wrong there. Okay, I'm gonna have to try to fix that later. Let's forget that for now. We'll leave that for now, but at least I got the icon there. Okay, what next? I'm gonna close that. And, oh yes, startup. So, although you got this here and the plank dock here, when you reboot, it's not gonna start up, so you won't have them there. So to have them start up, you're gonna go to the menu, you're gonna search for startup. You're gonna choose application auto start, and you're gonna create a new startup option. So for example, I want plank. Description, you don't really need that, but I'm just gonna put dock, and you're gonna have to know the command. So for plank, it's just plank. Hit OK. And there you go, you got the plank dock on startup. And just a tip, guys, if you don't know the commands in XFCE, for example, say I didn't know, I know the command of this, but just an example, I'm gonna right click, I'm gonna edit the application, and you got the command right here for it. So if you don't know the command, that's an easy way of looking up the command. Also, I want to add the volume icon here. So volume icon, just gonna put volume icon. Description, I'm gonna skip that, and the command is volume icon. Okay. So if that's set properly, when you restart, plank should restart, or should load up on startup, along with this volume icon right here. And I'm done with that. Now, also, oh yes, let's see. You notice there's these window decorations here. I don't really like it. So to change that, we're gonna go to appearance right here. We're gonna turn this on, set matching XF Window Manager 4 theme, if there is one. So if you remember, we installed Arc G2K theme earlier in the terminal. So these are what you get when you install that. You get these 4 different themes along with window decorations. It changes the colors here also. But for example, I got the arc here. If I exit, I'd open my file manager once again. Or hold on 1 second. Arc lighter, we'll try that again. 1 second. Or darker. I guess that's the way it is. Interesting. Okay, yeah, so I'd always choose arc darker. I like the look of that. So I'm happy with that. We're gonna close that. And one thing I should mention with Plank, you see sometimes there's a little glitch here. You got this line here, right? So the manual way to fix that is basically to kill Plank and restart it again. As an example, I'll do it here for you. Kill all, Plank, and then you hit Plank again, and you see the glitch is gone. But that's the manual way. Now I've automated this, and what I did was I made a little script. Oops, and search for Plank. 1 second. So here in my Plank, if I right click here and I edit the application, you see here I didn't put the command Plank. Normally it's just the command here, Control F. It's usually like this, right? But I changed it because I made my own script. And here, save, and 1 second, go to Plank again so we can start it up. And my script is in my home folder. It's called Plank Wrapper. So all the script is, I'm going to open this with my editor here. Hopefully, it's kind of hard to see, but all it is, it's a bash file. All I did was I killed Plank, all versions of Plank that are running. If there's nothing running, then it's fine. It won't kill anything. I put it to sleep for 1 second. So just pause for 1 second, and after pausing, you run Plank. And that's all I did. And also I had to make it executable. So you can right click properties, permissions, read and write, or from the terminal you can do chmod +x in the name of the file, right? Yeah, so whenever there's a glitch like that, I also put Plank into my dock. It'll just restart itself. So if I click here, it's gonna kill itself, and after 1 second it reboots. So that's how I fixed that glitch there, guys. So from this point, I'm very happy with the way it looks, how it turned out. The workflow is very similar, as you can see, to the KDE version, right? I could make even more subtle tweaks. For example, the KDE version, it was a little purplish here. So you can even go a little further with that for panel preferences, appearance. You go here, solid, it's at a solid color right now, but you can change the color that you want. So here, I already have some custom colors here. I'm gonna choose this, right? Select. There. So you see it's a little more purplish. It matches, it's a very subtle difference, but it matches the theme a little bit more, so you can tweak it a little more. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with the way it is, right? So yeah, guys, I'm gonna end the session right here. So I hope some things have been informative to you here. And if you like this video, please, guys, please subscribe. I'm a new channel. I'm only doing this part-time right now, so my goal is to put out a video once every 2 weeks. If the channel gets more popular, then I'll probably do it more frequently. But yeah, until next time, take care, everybody.